Hello and welcome to Working Dad Trader. In this episode, I thought I would do something a little bit different, and that is to do a Q&A. I asked people if you could ask me any sort of anything you wanted to ask, then to send me a message, and I shall do my best to try and answer these questions as best and truthfully as I can. I just thought it'd be something a bit different, a bit fun, get to sort of know a bit about maybe me or my thoughts on investing and trading. It was sort of inspired by a friend of mine, Mark, from the channel August Portfolio. If you haven't checked that channel out, then go and have a look. He sort of gave me the idea and inspired me to do a Q&A. So I thought I'd get the basic questions out of the way first that have come in. Some of them I'm not going to be too specific on stuff. Like I would say that one of the questions is about my age, so I would just say that I'm in my 40s. Yeah, getting a bit old now. The other one was, yeah, I live in the southwest of England. So yeah, in the UK. And the other question was about what is my day-to-day job. Well, my day-to-day job, which is my main job that I've done for many years, about 15 years now probably, is I'm a delivery driver. So I work full-time doing sort of 50 odd hours a week as a delivery driver, and then investing and helping my family on on the side. So I am literally just an average person like everyone else. Everyone thinks that you need to be some really financial expert, but no, I'm just a normal key worker in the last year, working hard to support the family, paying the bills. I've got all the same things that most people in the world have got, of the financial pressures of houses, mortgages, bills to pay, family to help support. And so yeah, I mean, my investing is not in a situation where I could give up my job, not far from it. So what I'm starting to do now is invest everything I can. Obviously, it's some people are saying they're investing 5,000 a month, etc. I am nowhere near that amount, and my aim is to put so much a month away into my children's junior ISAs and into my own ISA, and keep paying into my pension, and that hopefully when I get to retirement, I'll have, after a lot of compounding, I'll have a reasonably good retirement fund where I can live bit more comfortable and not worry so much about bills. Okay, so the next one was about how long have I been investing. I've been investing probably around 3 years, with my actual money into the stock market. So yeah, it's probably just under 3 years, around the 3 year mark, that I have been paying money into the stock market and investing for my future. Before that, I probably studied a lot, read a lot of books, and did a few courses. I took out lots of demo accounts and practiced for probably 2 years before that. So yeah, I mean, for the first 2 years, I was really unsure whether I should do it. I guess the fear of actually putting your own money in, and probably before that, I might not have been in a strong enough financial position, I felt, to have money left over every month to start investing. So I used that time while I paid some of my debts down, and got rid of a lot of debt, to study the stock market, study investing, read books, watch videos. I did some courses. So yeah, that's sort of the background of how I got into investing. The other question was, what type of investor are you? I would say I'm a long-term investor. I'm quite a cautious investor. Um, People probably find that quite boring. But I would say a lot of investing is, I guess, quite boring for some people. It's not a get rich quick scheme. I'm very cautious. I like to think about the safety aspect first. At the end of the day, this is my own family's money that I'm putting into the stock market, so I don't believe on taking humongous risks. I definitely judge the risk and do my homework on what would be the downside if things go wrong. I always look at the safety aspect. As I'm a long-term investor, the risk is obviously a lot lower. So I'm not a day trader, or I don't do forex trading. Okay, so the next one is a really interesting question I got, which was, what secret stocks are in my portfolio that I don't talk about? And the answer, I thought that was a really good question actually. But to be fair, I'm pretty boring in that I don't really have any. Obviously, I have my Trading 212 account, which I monthly give you an update of that portfolio, of what stocks, and you get to see what stocks are in there, what stocks come out, what stocks to come in, etc. How that portfolio is going. That's more of my sort of individual stock portfolio, where I do a bit more of investing and buying and selling, because obviously Trading 212 is free, so you don't get charged for moving and doing transactions. My only other account I don't really talk about is my main ISA account, which is with Hargreaves Lansdown. And in that, it's pretty much all funds that I'm invested in. I've talked about some of them before. In my ISA, I'm big in my funds into Baillie Gifford. A lot of my funds are in Baillie Gifford American, Baillie Gifford China, and Baillie Gifford Managed. With the free Baillie Gifford ones, obviously I want exposure to the American market. I want exposure to the Chinese market through Baillie Gifford. And the managed one is like a mixture of, they invest in stocks and a bit of bonds, just to sort of give my ISA a nice steady base. So that's why I put the managed in, which gives me pretty reasonable returns. And then I've also got the Stewart Indian Subcontinental Sustainability Fund, which, as you've seen in my previous videos, I'm quite bullish on exposure to the Indian market. And I would sooner, a lot of these markets I'm not 100%, and I don't have the time to really study all these markets. And I'm quite happy with these funds because there's experts in these funds that are good in these areas, especially the Indian market, and I've had really decent previous results. So I'm quite happy to have put some funds into that and have a steady income into my ISA. That's what I want to grow. My Trading 212 account is a bit more of my own personal picks and interests. And I use that, and I do have fun with that account, but definitely my ISA account, and that is the bulk of my money is invested in my ISA, and they are mainly in those funds. Okay, so the next one is my biggest investing mistake. Well, I think I've just talked about a lot of sort of things that mistakes, and it's learning from them. Biggest investing mistake is, as far as probably stocks, I bought some not so great stocks over the years, and I think everyone has done that. Even the very best, the experts on Wall Street, the people in the financial places, they make mistakes and buy stocks that don't work out. That's just investing. You just really can't be 100% all the time. I think if you just do as much homework as you can and use common sense, then you limit your mistakes. Stocks, things like, I think 18 months ago I bought a company called Tullow Oil as a cheap oil stock at the time, and the oil market really did then nosedive. And this company really wasn't what I guess turned it out to be. So it was definitely a mistake. And when the company started then selling off parts, I think, of their business to generate funds, which was a bad sign. So yeah, that was a bad mistake. I should have done a lot more research into that stock. And another one I think I did was Sierra Metals, which I think they were like a mining company that mined for gold and silver and other precious metals. I think they were quite a lot based in places like Africa. Yeah, and that was just it was a cheap stock, and it just really didn't work out too well. Again, I should have probably did more research. Luckily, on both those stocks, that I never invested that much amount of money, so the risk exposure was not great. Which again comes down to your safety, is not putting too much into a stock. So yeah, I invested and then got out, and they did both lose me money, but the money was not, I was more than comfortable losing that money, because it wasn't, no one likes losing money, but it was only small amounts of money, if you know what I mean. So yeah, so definitely made mistakes on them. I remember buying Boohoo 18 months ago, and that was in my mind just a short hold, because obviously mainly I'm a long-term investor, so I used a small portion of my portfolio I just thought I'd buy the stock and hold it for 3 to 6 months and sell it, and I did after it made a really nice profit for me. But in hindsight now, looking back, look how amazing Boohoo's done over the whole situation of the last year, where the shops have been closed, the retail has been shut. Their business has just boomed for online sales, and I really should have held that stock a lot longer. But you're always going to get stocks where you wish you held them, because they've gone massively up since you sold them. But to me at the time, it was not a company I saw myself holding for 5-10 years. So I bought it reasonably cheap and made a nice profit on that, and sold on and put the money elsewhere. So yeah, I mean, they're just mistakes you make. Biggest lesson from all that was definitely do research. Just you just really got to look into the companies if you're investing. Make sure you do your risk analysis on them. Make sure what you're risking, you're comfortable with risking. So that's one of the definitely biggest lessons if I was starting on trading again, is just definitely do your research, look into the company, do the fundamentals well, look at the financials, look a bit in the news, see if there's things coming up or there's really major changes coming up with the business. So do that type of stuff. And probably the biggest one is, if I was to is just don't listen to social media, because there's just so much noise on there that will definitely cloud your judgment on stocks, because everyone's banging on about a certain stock and hyping it up. It's really easy to lose your discipline and jump in on that as well, but once you do that, it's probably too late. The stock has already gone up so much that you're just probably buying near the top, and then it's going to crash, and that has happened so many times, and I've witnessed it. Luckily, I haven't really ever been in that situation where I followed the hype and it's crashed. It's so easy to get pulled along with the train. I mean, there's been examples recently with really recently is with the crypto, with Bitcoin and stuff like that. Everyone's been buying crypto. Everyone's been saying it's the quickest way to be rich. I'm going to be a millionaire. I've been buying loads and loads of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And I hold crypto myself, so I'm not saying don't buy crypto. I hold a very small portion of crypto myself as a balanced portfolio. But I could see the hype just the same as the stock market, and it's just been going up and up and up for so long. So last week I sold about 25% of my portfolio in crypto, and then because I could just see at some point this slamming down because crypto is really volatile, way more volatile than stocks. So I could just definitely see the signs of it crashing. So I was happy to take some money out and leave a lot of my gains really left. I felt that by taking out pretty much my original stake and just leaving all the profits to do whatever they wanted was pretty risk free. So I took 25%, like I say, of my crypto portfolio out. Funny enough, then it's crashed. And I've put some of that money back in now. The next one is, what is my motivation for starting a YouTube channel? This is a really good question, actually. So thank you for that question. To be honest with you, people that know me and know me really well will know that I'm really not a confident person. I'm not a person that likes to speak in public and be the centre of attention. I'm quite a shy person, I always have been. So to start this channel, my motivation now, I have children. I want to obviously, once you're a parent, you want to be a good example to your children, or you hope to be. And talking publicly is definitely my weakness. It has always been my weakness in life. If someone needed to stand up and say something, it wouldn't be me. I wouldn't volunteer to stand up in front of public and talk or make a speech. So talking and doing this type of stuff really is a weakness for me. So I felt that the best example I can be to my children as far as this is to tackle your weaknesses, to challenge them. So it was a challenge, and challenges are good in life. Sometimes they help motivate you. So I knew by challenging myself to talk publicly will improve me, improve my confidence as far as talking in public and producing videos. They still might not be very good, but it's been a massive learning curve for me, a massive motivation, massive help. Definitely a lot of self-help for myself to really improve. So yeah, it's been massive self-improvement. So that's my biggest motivation really for starting a YouTube channel, was to challenge myself, to put myself way out my comfort zone, because this is really not something I like doing. And it's been good. There's been a lot of it I've enjoyed. There's a lot of good people out there on the other YouTubers that are really great and been supportive, definitely to me, and it's been good connecting with them and talking with them. I suppose the other reason what motivated me was that I really do love stocks and investing. It really does motivate me a lot. That is, when I'm by myself, I can look at figures and stocks and do that part of it quite well, I think. And do that type of stuff. And I wanted to try in some ways to then use my experience to help other people. And the whole point of the channel is just to show people that I'm just an average person with a family and a mortgage and bills to pay, and if I can do it, then you can as well. But you just need to go out there and learn and use common sense a lot of the time, and just not take risks. At the end of the day, this is your hard-earned money. I work a lot of hours every week, and so does my wife and everyone else, and we use this money, and we don't want to just chuck it away on ridiculous stuff, so because we can't afford it. So any money that goes into investing is for our long-term future. So I hope that from the things that I've learned and some of the mistakes, and that's what I do, hopefully I can inspire some people in a similar situation to me to build a better future for themselves. So yeah, that's okay. The next one is about a collaboration. Would I collaborate with another YouTuber? The answer on that would be yes, if I believed in their channel and the topic we were talking about. If I thought, I wouldn't just do it because to gain subscribers or views. That doesn't really interest me. I wouldn't want to just collaborate with someone because my aim is to get a load more views or a load more exposure. If I don't believe in their channel, then it's not something I want to do. So that wouldn't be me. But if the person is genuine and I like their channel and I like what they have to say, and they're of the same minds of me and same beliefs, then yeah, I definitely would consider doing that. So yeah, that would be my answer to that. Okay, so if you managed to get to the end of this video, then that's amazing. Thank you very much. Hopefully it wasn't too boring and it was of some interest. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you everyone that obviously left me some questions to answer. Yeah, it was quite fun and something a bit different. Please remember to like and subscribe my channel. It does really help me, and I hope to see you all soon. Okay, take care.